guess I have to get on Tarkov for that to should be able to test it. Which of course there's an update.
I mean, that's honestly like it'd be just something to like kind of. I would just like test like middle school, my middle school. I would just like troubleshoot that shit. Like, go, all right, I'm gonna test this first. All right, I'm gonna test this second. All right, you know.
Well, I did that for
These
an
two
hour and a
things.
half and nothing fucking changed. So that's kind of where I'm getting a little annoyed here.
Well, that's why I'm
These
thinking
are
even just like
Invincible's
recording.
super.
Like, if here's the thing, if you do recording and it also doesn't work, then I think basically
It's a computer.
it's your computer.
Right.
If the recording works though, then it literally might just be how the streaming service is going.
Right.
Super soldiers, the Reanimen. Reanimen are the efforts of D.A. Sinclair in order to create the perfect super soldier. They are the corpses of humans enhanced with titanium steel, synthetic muscles, bones, fabricated actuators, and nanomotors. Every Reanimen has brain implants to ensure complete loyalty, and they only possess enough natural brain function to operate their bodies. Sinclair was recruited by Cecil to make use of these super soldiers after he was discovered by Mark and was arrested by the Global Defense Agency, as they exhibited exceptional strength, with some even able to take on Invincible. Cecil tasked Sinclair to create an army of these Reanimen, and after the Invincible War concluded, Cecil gathered the corpses of deceased alternate Invincibles and recreated them into the Invincible Reanimen, who were formidable enough to overpower both Mark and Dinosaurus in a prolonged fight. These are Invincible's super soldiers, the Reanimen. Reanimen are the—
It was a beautiful service. I'm glad it didn't rain. Kate hated the rain. Why do I feel this way, Marcus? Because you loved her, man. I loved many others before Kate. All of them died as well. But this is different. I thought we had more time together.
Request denied.
It wasn't a request.
We're already 2 members down. You want to quit? Absolutely not. Like, if this is about Kate, I understand.
I'm unmoored, Cecil. Unstable. Dangerous, even.
You just saved the goddamn planet from an invasion from Mars.
It could have cost us that fight because I didn't trust Invincible. And then I almost started an interplanetary war with his one-eyed friend. I was already broken, Cecil. Kate's death just finished me off.
You're not quitting. This is a temporary leave of absence. That vacation we talked about. Do you understand me? Where are you even going?
Home. It was a beautiful service. I'm glad it didn't rain. Kate hated the rain.
The brutal death of Cecil Stedman, after Mark got back from the Dimension robot trapped him in, and his traumatizing encounter with Anissa. He flies off to the Pentagon to tell Cecil what happened. Cecil asks him if he's in the right dimension, and Mark reveals so by telling the events that happened previously already. Cecil believes him but says that Rex has showed no signs that he is planning on taking over the planet. However, while they were talking, one of Rex's drones came in, and Mark asked him to surrender. As they were arguing, Cecil intervened and said that Mark's accusations were believable, as Rex had been asking for GDA's emergency protocols. Seeing no other choice, Rex's drone emitted a sonic pulse, taking out Mark. Afterward, it drew a blade hidden in its hand, slitting Cecil's throat and blaming Mark for his death. Mark watched helplessly as the drone stomped on Cecil's head, spewing blood all over the place before Mark could manage to fight through the pain and destroy the drone. The brutal death of Cecil Stedman, after Mark got back from the Dimension robot trapped him in, and his—
I'll never eat turkey again. Marge, we got any ham?
I hereby declare Thanksgiving dinner officially over, which means it's the start of Christmas season, which means Christmas card photos!
Hey bro, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda forgot to equip my shotgun. Can you just do me a favor and make the rotate? Who the forgets to bring the shotgun on smoke? I mean, I got it, I can make the rotate. I have no problem doing this. Alright, there you go. Next time, bring your shotgun. Good boy. What? You heard me. Said you're a good boy for making that rotate. What the f is going on right now? Did you intentionally not bring a shotgun just so you can call me a good boy. I'm just trying to be a good teammate here. Whoa, stop being aggressive. You're being a bad boy. See, at least you were a good boy and made that rotate. Now help me reinforce sight. Whatever. Just don't do that shit, bro. That's weird as I don't rock with that energy, dude. Alright, what else do you need me to reinforce? Good boy, reinforcing. Alright, no, what the you want to do anything else, just do it, okay? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Relax. I'm just making a joke, alright? I'll stop. You'll stop. Yes, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We really just have to like kind of test it out.
Just weird.
Yeah, and this game's fucking taking ages to update.
Okay, I'm not even trying to like add on to the joke, but can you please make the head holes and trophy? I promise I'm not gonna say anything. I don't believe you. Like I really don't believe you no more. You're not gonna say anything? Put that on God. On God, I'm not gonna say anything. All right, I'll make the head holes. That's a good boy. Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of.
Why didn't Cecil give speakers to heroes that blasted the sound frequency that disables Invincible during the Invincible War? There was a lot of confusion when the Invincible War was taking place, and the good Invincible was attacked by heroes because they didn't realize he wasn't one of the evil ones, risking losing Earth's strongest hero, who is the strongest by magnitudes when Earth is facing the biggest threats it ever has, just isn't worth it. Cecil did mobilize with Reanimin and killed at least 3 of the variants, so it still came in quite handy. Why didn't Cecil give speakers to
Now look, here's a potato. One slap, you got big chunks for stews. 2 slaps, home fries in a second. And look at this. But you add a mushroom, the more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades. You love salad, you hate making it. Take the stringy celery, take the carrots, salad. I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. At least throw it on top of the pizza. This tuna looks boring.
Why?
Stop having a boring
that's
tuna.
PMCs.
Stop having a boring life. Here's a hard-boiled egg. One
fuck
shot,
my
you
ass,
add the
dude.
pickle, you add the green onion. And then what you can do,
this
you can
whole
mix things
time I'm like,
together.
alright,
You
cool,
add
I
the
got all
ham,
5
you don't have
scabs.
time to make
Nope,
breakfast. You're gonna have an
apparently
exciting life now.
Fuck my
Breakfast to go.
ass,
You're
man.
gonna love my nuts. Watch.
Fuck my ass.
Stay away from him.
Alright, time to be the scummiest little bitch I can be.
In Invincible,
I was wondering
Mark
why this
kisses
testing-
Eve,
I was like, man, this
cheating on
testing's so
Amber, and they
fucking
both
easy,
agree to
dude.
not speak about this again, although Eve clearly
course.
wants his company. In the
Never
meantime,
can be. Is
Amber
that
is
a
increasingly
grenade launcher?
unhappy with Mark
That
and
is a
calls
grenade
Gary to
launcher.
satisfy her
Round.
needs. When Mark returns to Earth, he runs into
I don't
Amber
even know
and
if I have
Gary and talks with
enough
Amber
ammo in this
privately,
thing.
expressing his belief that she deserves better, and even mentions that he might pursue Eve, so they agree to have one last cuddle before officially breaking up. The
Probably
first
should've
person
tricked this
Invincible
out.
tells the news to is actually Rex Blode, who's recovering after his encounter with the Lizard League.
More if I was just
Later,
gonna go
Eve
kill
goes to visit
PMCs.
Rex, and he mentions that Invincible is single now, so she heads straight for his college dorm, knocking on the door and letting herself in, looking fine as hell, saying, "I hear you're single now. Are we dating or what?" William makes a timely exit, leaving Mark and Eve alone to talk, and she says she's liked Mark since they had first met, and even dated William to get closer to him. But when Mark mentions that a multiverse Eve had already confessed her feelings, Eve wonders if Mark genuinely likes her or just feels sorry for her, and leaves, with Mark contemplating how he fumbled the bag that hard. In Invincible, Mark...
The next time you're running Mr. Olympia after your evening shower, try the crab. Stand shoulder width apart, then reach for the ceiling. Now in one motion, scoop your arms in, then bend forward, popping your traps. Be sure to
Dude, I
practice
swear to
this,
fucking God, I
because
just
when you
waited
nail
8
it,
years waiting for this unpacking of the files. Now I gotta check the integrity of the game. Fuck this.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it's doing, dude.
God.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's, I mean, the good news is like, hey, if this works and you have like clear footage, then maybe we just try to replicate your settings there, you know? Access denied.
I just realized I'm still streaming. Should probably stop that.